Yo, what is going on, guys? Stormhill, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are here for the PCL D-League Week 3 game. This is my match against Dorian, or Lieutenant Gold, coach of the Victory Road Victinis. We are currently 2-0 going into this game. He is currently 1-1. His team's actually, it's scary, but I feel like it's probably the best matchup we've had so far this season. He has three threats, though, that I'm definitely really afraid of in this matchup, those being Conkelda, Genesect, and Salazzle. Salazzle's definitely something he didn't bring, you can see. But it actually beat my team. Could be very threatening towards my team, depending on what he wanted to run. If he run he could run Nasty Plot with offensive, and that could tear through my team. He could run Sub Toxic, and that could tear through my team because it can Toxic anything, which is kind of terrible for my draft. Like Toxic Mega Venus or Toxic Megana, Toxic Bronzong, those could all be very bad. But that was definitely the third scariest mon. Genesect and Conk, though, those two are the scariest ones. If Genesect can get up a shift gear or two, I really feel like it can just win the game depending on what it has spread-wise, so that could be very bad. And Conkelda actually is the worst mon for my team on prep for this game, in my opinion, as it can be everything on my team. If he has Facade, that is going to just tear through even my walls. My Venusaur and Suicune are both physically defensive. I once again did bring Cascoon because it's the only thing that I could bring that could potentially take 2 hits from Facade, Guts, Conkelda, because that one is so scary. I was looking at my counts, and Guts Conkelda does over 50% to Mega Venusaur with a Facade, so I can't even sit there and try and synthesis damage off because of that. So I was kind of expecting him to run Knockoff, Drain Punch, Facade, and then maybe Ice Punch, maybe Mock, maybe even Bulk Up or Sub. All of those could be really scary. And then he also brought his Lati, which is also really scary towards my team. I felt like I had a few decent counters, but it's still threatening. And then he brought Crooks up and Jolteon, which I definitely wasn't expecting. I was thinking he was probably going to bring the 3 he brought, those 3 at the front, and then also Salazzle, Jellicent, Gligar potentially, or Mega Gardevoir was what I was thinking. But he brought Crook, Sup, and Jolteon, which I feel like I can deal with all of them pretty well. Jolteon shouldn't be too much of an issue, as I do have a P2 right there, and I also have a Mamoswine, which, he could potentially hit if he has HP Grass or Hidden Power Water, Hidden Power Fighting, anything like that, but that's about all it can do to that. Sup, definitely could be threatening, but Venusaur should be fine against it this whole game. I also, of course, have Bronzong and Megana, which I have 3 months that resist Leaf Storm. P2 also can take a few hits from Sup, so I'm not too concerned. And then Crocodile. Crocodile should never be able to break my Venusaur. I don't believe even Adamant Band could 2-hit KO me with my spread, so I'm not too concerned about Crocodile. So anyway, let me quickly go through my team. Let me get it up quickly. So my Megana this week was actually a really offensive variant. I was Shift Gear, Ice Beam, Floor Cannon, Shadow Ball. I had max special attack, 188 in speed, and then the remaining 68 in Spadef. Not 100% sure what I was creeping with that. I might have been trying to creep. Was I trying to creep? I'm actually not sure. Was it Lati when I have a Shift Gear up? I wanted to creep that. I'm not too sure. I really don't remember much about what I built on this team because I have a few other people that help me with team building because I'm terrible at team building. So that's something, and pretty much they come up with most of the stuff I use in this. So they kind of started helping this week, and they have also helped me with the week 4 team building, which I've done now because I'm recording this late. So apologies for that. But yeah, I'm not too sure what that speed is there for. Then we have Bronzong, which is actually Heat-Proof Bronzong with max HP, max Spadef, 4 and special attack. With the Hidden Power Fire, Rocks, Gyro Ball, Earthquake. This was my Genesect counter, and it was also a kind of okay switch into Salazzle. It could take 1 hit from Salazzle and then do a good chunk back with Earthquake. I believe I had that right, yeah. And it could also do quite a bit to Gardevoir with Gyro Ball, which is very nice. And then of course I'm Heat Proof with HP Fire to try and beat that Genesect, as Genesect kind of tears through me, but with the Heat Proof I should be able to take pretty much any hit from Genesect pretty well. Even if he has Blaze Kick, even if he has Flamethrower, I should take those pretty well. due to that. So that's pretty nice. Moving on to my Venusaur, I have max HP, max defense with 4 in special attack, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Earthquake Synthesis. It's pretty much there to just try and deal with Conkeldurr, try and deal with Crook, potentially try and deal with the setup and Jolt at the back over there. It would also have been my main switch into Jellicent every single time, as I really was afraid of that on prep. So, yeah. Then we have my Mamoswine, which is Scarfed with Icicle Crash, Knockoff, Earthquake, and Shard. Max attack, 180 in speed, 72 HP, 4 speed death. I can't. What was the speed in there for? 180 Mamo. I believe it was creeping Jolteon was what we were doing with this. And unfortunately, we had to be Jolly to do this, which kind of sucks. We wanted to run Adamant, but if we went Adamant with max speed, we actually didn't outspeed Jolteon. And although we didn't think Jolteon was going to come to this game, we felt it would be important to try and outspeed that. So we changed the EVs a bit, so we would outspeed it, which definitely wasn't a bad decision. I mean, I'm glad I did that considering he brought Jolteon. So moving on to my Suicune, I have max HP, max defense with Cursed, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Waterfall. The exact same stat I brought last week. I didn't really feel like it was a great bring to this match, but if he brought Facade on Conkeldurr, I needed this set because it's the only thing that could potentially sit in front of it and deal with that. So I figured it was pretty important to try and do something like that, but yeah. And then finally we do have our P2 with the EVO lights. 244 HP, 12 special attack, 252 speed death, with recover, tri-attack, toxic, ice beam. We felt the coverage could hit pretty much everything on his team, like other than Genesect, you can see it hits at least everything else neutrally. And it actually hits so hard, like P2 is really nice. It's a pretty basic wall I have there to try and take on like a special attacker, maybe like Lati, Sub, Jolteon, Mega Gardevoir, things like that. I actually can't remember like half the stuff he actually had on his team that he didn't bring, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, let's get right into this game now. So let's go. Okay, so as you can see, we are being challenged by Pokemon Trainer Dorian. So he's actually going to lead off with Conkeldurr as I lead Mamoswine. I was expecting him to lead off with. What was I expecting him to lead with? I'm not sure, actually. I was expecting him to lead with something I could deal with. This was not that, though. So I'm going to switch right out now into my Suicune to try and potentially take this on. I was afraid of going straight into Venusaur, although that probably was the best play. As he does go for a knockoff, knocks off my lefties. That's not too important, so I'm completely fine with this. Now this time I'm going to go straight for a Curse. I figured if he has Facade, I need to get this Curse up to even have a shot at living. But he's actually just going to go hard into his Jolteon, so nice play on his part there. As I'm going to get this Curse up, and you see, I mean, I'm at +1, I'd still be doing like 30% to this Jolteon, and I'm definitely not risking taking this T-Bolt. So I will be switching into Mamoswine this turn. I knew he could HP Grass, I knew there was a chance, but like I don't want to throw away my Suicune right now, so I'm not going to do that, as he does go for the Baton Pass, which was certainly a very interesting play. I was a bit surprised he had that. But definitely works out for him there, as he's able to just Baton Pass straight into Conkeldurr again. And this time I have to go Venusaur. I don't even think Suicune could take 2 Drain Punches in a row. So if he has Facade, he clicks it here, and I'm going to get bodied if he has it. So I'm going to bring up Venusaur, and luckily he does not have it. He goes straight for the Drain Punch, which still does quite a bit, because I'm not Mega'd. So yeah. At this point, for some reason, I decided to go for Giga Drain. I still was afraid of Facade, even though if he had it, he should have always clicked it there. I guess I had a Mamo on the field, but Facade still would have done a lot of damage there, and he could finish it off with a Mach Punch on the next turn. But he's going to switch out into Lati, as I'm going to go for a Giga Drain. And I'm going to get, like, nothing back from this. This is going to do, like, 20 damage to him. It's going to do, like, 10%. Maybe a tiny bit more. Let me have a look, actually. I'm not sure how much this does. Yeah, it does about 15%. And you're going to see I do not get too much health back there. I get like 13 HP back. But now I'm actually going to go into my Bronzong. I figure he probably fires off a Psychic this turn. And Bronzong is definitely my switch into that. And he goes for Shadow Ball. And he's actually Specs. And this is going to do so much damage. So I just let my Genesect counter get weakened, and already I can just see me losing to Genesect. So that was a huge, huge issue for me. So I'm going to switch out on a P2 here, because you know, I know he's Specs. From that damage, he has to be Specs. So I'm going to bring the P2 out, and I believe I'm going to go for a tri-attack this turn. No, actually, I pull a double into Venusaur here, as he goes Genesect. So, yeah, Genesect is definitely very threatening at this point, so that's going to be bad. As he does get the attack boost right here, and I'm going to bring out Venusaur. So, here, I figured Synthesis was probably a good play. I figured he may hit me. I want to see how much he's going to do, so I go for a Synthesis as he switches. It definitely wasn't the best play on my part, because if he went for Shift Gear right there, that would have been a huge issue. Luckily, he didn't. So I'm going to be at full health now, and he has a Lati on the field. And this time, I figure, you know, he's not going to expect me to go Bronzong again. He's going to think I'm going to go P2 this time, because that would be the best play. So I'm going to go Bronzong again, and try and get my rocks up, as that is exactly what he does. He fires off a Side Shock, and he doesn't even do damage. Like, look at that. That's like 20 damage, and I get quite a bit of that back from my Leftovers recovery. So that's very nice for me. So this time I can throw up my Stealth Rocks, and he's forced to switch out, and I believe he brings out Crocodile right now. Yeah, he brings out his Irwin, which is his Crocodile, and I was definitely kind of expecting him to have Pursuit here, so I couldn't keep my Bronzong, but I figured it was just worth going to trying to switch out anyway. So I believe I'm going to bring out my Venusaur now, as it was just such a safe switch into Crocodile, as I've already said. And of course he doesn't know I'm not Levitate, so he wouldn't Earthquake this turn. If he goes for an attack, he clicks Knock Off this turn or Pursuit. As he actually gets his own rocks up. So I'm thinking this could be, like, not choiced at all. That was what I was kind of expecting. So I'm actually going to, I believe, double here, as I know he's not going to stay in. I know he's going to go Lati. He's gone Lati every time so far in Venusaur, and Crook can't stay on me. If he clicked Earthquake here, I was in such a bad spot, but I knew he wouldn't. And knowing Vlad would come out, I can go Magina, make that double, and I can just click Floor Cannon right now and either knock something out or take quite a bit of health off that Genesect, as he does go back into Crocodile and sacks this off, which I did believe was the correct play overall. Like, it was definitely the least valuable member on his team in my opinion, but you know, that was my opinion. He actually said in his commentary, I believe, that this was a misplay, and I mean, he could have gone Genesect here, but if I had Hidden Power Fire, you would have got beaten by that pretty quickly. So he goes out into his Genesect now, and I'm going to pull a double to Bronzong. I figure it's my best sack at this point, and you know, I can still do damage if he does go for a Shift Gear here. Although I thought, you know, he's probably not going to do that, because if I have Hidden Power Fire, he's not in a very good position. So I'm going to pull out the switch out of Bronzong here, as he actually does go for Shift Gear. And I do not feel good about this game right now. I'm thinking right now if he goes for another Shift Gear, this game may just be over. Because, you know, he can... After that, he just goes for, like, any attack move, and he's going to knock me out. As he does go for another Shift Gear. So at this point, he's at, like, what, +4 speed, I believe? It gives you +2, right? Yeah, +4 speed, +3 attack, because he got the download boost as well. And my Hidden Power Fire is definitely going to be a 2-hit KO. But I expect that he can easily knock me out now. You know, pretty much any physically offensive move is going to knock me out. As he goes for Iron Head, which will not knock me out, and he does not flinch me. If he flinched me there, the game is potentially still over. But luckily he doesn't, and Genesect is going to go straight down. Now, he told me after the game he had Flamethrower T-Bolt as his other moves, which kind of confused me. I figured if you wanted to go with Shift Gear, you probably run fully physical. And if you did run fully physical, the game may have just been straight over right there, but luckily he didn't. So he's going to bring out Conkeldurr, and I mean, Bronzong's done exactly what I wanted it to do on prep for this game, so I will just sack it off here. I have no reason to save it. So he's going to knock out Bronzong, as I'm going to just sack that. I believe I bring out my Venusaur now. Or to bring out... I do. I probably should have brought out Magina here. I'm not too sure why I didn't. I guess... Oh, yeah, no, I remember. If I missed my Floor Cannon, I was in such a bad spot. So I'm going to go straight for a Sludge Bomb, as he actually just stays in and takes it and goes for a Stone Edge, which is going to definitely hurt me. But I'm fine with this. You know, if I can get rid of Conkeldurr right now, that would be huge for me. So I'm going to go for another Sludge Bomb, as I believe he actually predicted Synthesis, so he went Lati here to try and get in without taking damage, but I am going to go for a Sludge Bomb, and this Lati is so weakened right now. Like, you can see how much that does. Lati is now pretty low, and I'm actually going to make a huge misplay here and go Suicune. If I sacked off Venusaur there, I won the game. I would go into Magina, I'd click Shift Gear, as he's locked into side shot, because that's the only thing that could kill Venusaur, and I would sweep him. There was nothing he could do if I went for that. So shift game again, I would have won the game right there. But I doubled the Suicune, as this was what I was thinking was my least valuable member. I was like, okay, he'll just fire 2 Psy Shocks. He doubles into Sub this turn. He switches into Sub right now, which actually means the game isn't over yet, which is terrible for me. And for some reason, I make another misplay here, and I don't sack Suicune, I sack Venusaur. I don't know if I still thought Venusaur could potentially take a hit here, which it definitely can. It can take this Leaf Storm, but I'm not going to live another hit after that. So I really don't know why. I just made a few misplays in a row here. So yeah, if I had sacked Venusaur to Lati, I bring out Magearna, click Shift Gear, knock out Lati with an Ice Beam, knock out Conk with a Floor Cannon, knock out Jolteon with a Floor Cannon, and knock out Sub with an Ice Beam. So yeah, that game was definitely over, but I didn't do that. So unfortunately now, Superior is on the field at +2, knocking out Venusaur. So I have to go Mammoth One right now. And if I miss this Icicle Crash, I think I just lose at that point. So that could be really bad for me. So I'm going to bring out Mamo. I'm going to go for an Icicle Crash. Scarfed Icicle Crash is going to connect, and this will 100% kill Sarp, as it is not Yashi Berry. So Sarp is going to go down. So now all he has left is his Lati, which cannot come in here, it will die. Jolteon, which kind of can't come in, because if he cannot kill me, which he shouldn't be able to, in one hit, I would beat that. And Conkeldurr, which has to come in. He goes for a Mach Punch here. I live this 100% because of my HP investment, and I get crit. I would have lived that 100% of the time. I was never in range of that. At 88, actually that's a lie. Max roll on that would be 88%, which is what I was at. So I could have taken that, and I could have just knocked out Conkeldurr, and the game would have been sealed, because he can't beat P2 if this goes down. So now I have to go Magearna, and I have to hit Floor Cannon, which you see I do, which is very nice. And at this point it looks really nice, because he should not be able to beat my P2 now. Like Lati plus Jolteon cannot beat me. He has to go Jolteon, since Magearna would 1v1 Lati right now. So Jolteon's going to come out. And I figure I want to know what this Jolteon set has on it, because all I know is he has Baton Pass. So I'm just going to sack off my Suicune here, just to kind of scout what he has. So, yeah, you're going to see Suicune actually does live Rock Sentry on 2 HP as he goes for a Discharge. So, I mean, I'm pretty confident he's not choiced in any way, like, with what he's revealed so far. So I can just go P2 always here, it's just so safe, and I can just click Tri Attack twice and knock out this Jolteon. As you actually do see here, he does reveal the Toxic, which was definitely interesting to see Toxic on this Jolteon set. And you're going to see here, I do go for a Tri Attack, and it actually looks like he could potentially live the second one. Like, with how much this does, it looks like he potentially can live another one if I get that roll again. So I'm going to just click it again. I have no reason not to, as he actually does fire off a Hidden Power Fighting here. So I mean, he clearly was afraid of this P2 against this Jolteon. But, you know, P2 still beats Jolteon even the Toxic and HP fighting. So down goes the Jolteon, as we do get a good roll there. And now all he has left here is the Lati, which, I mean, potentially can beat this P2. I believe if he Psyshocks me, he may knock me out as he specs, or Draco crits me, he knocks me out. But he cannot knock out my Magearna after that. So he just goes for HP Fire, which even with a crit would not knock me out. And I am just able to win this game with a Tri Attack. So that was very good. That was a really solid game to Dorian. We're able to pick up a 2-0 win. I almost choked the game away with that Venusaur play. I should have sacked Venusaur, but I didn't for some reason. And that almost cost me the game right there. So that would have been very bad if it did. But you're able to see we are able to still win with the combination of Mamoswine, Magearna, and P2. So one thing I want to mention, you know, had Mamo not been crit, I would have knocked out Conkeldurr, and then Jolteon comes out, and then Jolteon would have been able to KO me right there with Hidden Power Fighting. I mean, I would have got an Icicle Crash off first, but then, you know, unless I flinch him, he KOs me. I bring out P2, and then the same endgame happens there. The only difference would be that I would get the 3-0 win, as I wouldn't have had to sack Suicune then. So, I mean, I don't really care too much about a differential point, especially as, you know, I could have definitely won this game 4-0 if I just sacked off Venusaur earlier. So, I choked away the high differential, if I'm honest, so I didn't really care about losing differential. I don't care about differential at all, actually. I just care about trying to win these games, which, I mean, we've been doing so far. We are now 3-0. with a +8 differential. Currently number 2 in the league. I believe there's only 2 3-0 teams. It is me and Blazing Squid. He is currently, I believe, +11, and we are +8, so we're 3 points behind. Hopefully we can at some point catch up. But again, if he keeps winning with good differential, that probably won't happen, as I do not play for differential at all, and I rarely get good differential games. My only goal is to win games, and that is what I've been doing so far. Next week we take on Odds R. He is, I believe, 0-3 right now, and we are 3-0, of course. He has a pretty threatening roster, but of course I'll just get to that when we actually do get to that battle. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.